Everyone, welcome to another issue of Jay and Bax's Expensive Paper. Today we've got a special friend with us, Brandon from M.O.N Comics. That stands for Middle of Nowhere, by the way, if you didn't know. He will be talking with us today. We're just going to be hanging out, talking about some nerdy stuff, and really just chatting about his life after the fire. So make sure to stay tuned, and we'll bring him on shortly. Brandon.
There he is.
Your opening makes me want to go play Mega Man immediately.
Then it's doing.
It was
its
inspired
job.
by that.
I figured with the jump, man,
Yeah.
many memories with that game as a kid, like just renting it from a video game rental store on a Sunday and just tearing your hair out because like there was no internet. Like you didn't know the order to use on the guys unless you bought the magazines that were out that would tell you. So like, and you got 3 lives. You used those lives and continued sparingly. There was no endless game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, dude.
Like you had to like document too. Like I remember having a notebook, right? Of just like, okay, this guy is vulnerable to this attack.
Yep.
And you just keep going through like the list until you can beat the game. So,
and you know, a lot of those games they didn't have saves. So if you died, you died. You had your 3 lives. And then if you were done by the end of the 3rd one, then you'd have to start the game all over again.
And you'd pause that game if you had dinner. You would pause it to go eat dinner because maybe you're on your last life and that box would get so hot. Fire hazard.
Yes. Yes.
All
right. Yep. But man, thank you for coming on. Love having you. I think it's actually the first official visit from your persona to this channel, this humble channel. Not sure
weird
how
having
it
you
took
on this
so
side
long,
of the table.
but
it's an honor all on this side of the table. Guys, seriously.
But really appreciate you coming on. Those of you, if you've been living under the rock for the past 2 years, and you don't know who Brandon is, go check out his channel, M.O.N Comics, on YouTube and Instagram. Has some great content. Unfortunately, we'll talk about it, but he's had to pause that a little bit. But go see some of his previous live streams, some of his previous videos. He's truly one of the great ones. I know he was one of the ones who inspired me to start a channel with Bax, the holy trinity of comic book creators, Brandon, Mike from Lunch Money Comics, and Ricky from All Sorts of Words. You guys all have been incredibly supportive throughout this journey, and it's a pleasure having you on. So thanks for coming.
No, thanks for having me. So much. No, you're so welcome, Bax and Jay. It's lives have been therapeutic for me. It's been hard to sit in front of a camera that's not my space and try to make a video. But Jay, you hit the nail on the head. It's just like I've had to take a break. It's okay to like when you do YouTube so religiously or so regular basis, you feel like you're letting yourself down if you don't put out that next piece of content, and especially if you do it for a few years. So like being able to like realize like I've got bigger stuff going on and I'll do what I can when I can, like that's a huge thing. And I want the community to like understand that, you know.
Yeah, you know, luckily we have a great community full of good people, nothing but love out there. And of course, you got to do what's best for you and your family, right? Because at the end of the day, that's your priority.
Yeah.
So we completely understand. You know, we'll welcome you in open arms once you're fully back on. And in the meantime, whenever you want to hop on the stream, hang out, escape from that tough reality that it's life sometimes, just give us a call and we'd love to host you or jump on your channel too. It's awesome hanging out and just, you know, talking nerdy.
For sure. And I appreciate you guys coming on the Big Five Live twice now. Last week was a blast. That helps too when I've created such a net of friends that I can, you know, reach out. It's hard. It was hard to reach out all the time to 4 different creators and, you know, coordinate a night for them to all be together at the same time in different time zones. So like having to be able to put up the proverbial bat signal and get my nerd friends that like I know and are tried and true. And like just you guys are great on camera and like you bring good stories. Like that's a huge asset that I'm grateful to have built the past few years.
Yeah, man. Happy to jump on and happy to do it. So
Lost Jay.
for
You
can
lost
you hear
Jay?
me?
I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. You with us? Uh-oh. I can hear you, Jay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Okay.
but I don't think Brandon can hear us now.
Brandon cannot hear us. Testing. Uh-oh.
There we go. Sorry, guys. Some
You're
AirPods. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's the joys of a live stream.
Yep.
We're doing it live.
Awesome.
What were you saying, Jay? I'm sorry.
For those of us that don't follow your channel, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your journey, how you started into comic books? I know you like your superheroes, but I also know you love your monsters. We have some very similar tastes when it comes to that. Fing Fam Foom, I think, is one of our favorites, which doesn't get talked about enough. And from that journey into collecting and horror and comics and monsters, how did you decide to start and go ahead and create a YouTube channel?
So it was kind of like you in this. Well, I was playing Magic the Gathering. I was big into that. I played it since the 90s, in and out at different points in my life, kind of like with any collectible, that might come in and out of your life. And I was playing like my LCS. I had one like half-hour one-way drive, so it was like an hour round trip. And then I had a kid, and it was harder to get there. And I had a commander deck. Like I had some good old cards. And Hasbro kept doing stuff with Wizards of the Coast that really turned me off from the game, just watching the corporate greed of just printing sets endlessly and making money. And it just, I love the strategy and it scratched that competitive and strategy itch for me. But I played less and less. And I used to collect comics before I got dating my now wife. And I had a good collection. I had like First Blade, First Avengers, Spider-Man 3. Like I just had like kind of all over the place, and sold those off to get her engagement ring, which was a good choice. Said I can always get them back. And then, in 2021-ish pandemic time, I was like, I'm going to just sell all my cards and get back into comics. Because part of it is a little bit about like the cards are worth money. So I plan on handing them down to my kids, like a little bit of collectible investment for my future. And they kept reprinting cards, and they would drop the values on cards. Your cards become worthless if you pay tons for them. In comics, they can reprint Batman #1 a million times. It will never be worth what that first Batman was. There's only so much each of the original FF48, let's say, or FF1, like that's it. So it would be a good investment for my kids if comics, stay relevant, then maybe they'll be able to cash in on someday, and I'll enjoy them now. So got comics, started buying them, started watching YouTube. And I found some creators that I did not mesh with. And then Mike popped up. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Someone who just enjoys comics, talking about them. And he had always recommended Jeff from Comic Spot. So I contacted Jeff. I wanted to work on some books. We started chatting like every week, texting, calling, just nerding out because he had a great collection. And then one day he's like, hey, I want to, Mike wants you to give him a call and talk to him. Like, okay. So it was like a good chance to pick his brain. So we FaceTimed and just hit it off and have been friends since. And I was like, my whole shtick was going to be, his is like, you go out to like, antique shows, shops, where can you find comics at lunch money prices? Me being in the middle of nowhere, everyone thinks it means monster. So thanks, Bax gets it because I do love monsters. But I was like, there's got to be people that have to get comics like me through reputable Instagram sellers, eBay, Facebook. So I thought I'd take the work out and find those sellers that I could recommend, build my collection, and also, report back on YouTube. And I had a lot of fun doing that. It was a good little niche, became good friends with a lot of sellers. And then, after a while doing that, I realized I wanted to do like a live streams where it's at. Like that was opened my eyes. Like that's like the connection we're all looking for, right? To nerd out and talk with friends, because most of us can talk to our spouse for about so much before they're like, you lost me at 10 rings,
Yep.
power of awakening a dragon, So the minute stuff that we learned. So I started the Big Five Live, which was like, I really consider that one of my proudest things I've done, as far as like, I wanted something community driven that was fun and laid back, like what you guys do, talking to people. And it's really become the whole channel. I thought if I had 3 people watching, I'd be doing good, but I thought it'd be fun for my kids to have something to watch someday, to show that their dad put themselves out there, and it has grown beyond that. Like Mike always says, it's not about the comics. It's truly not anymore. I know I can reach out to you guys, come on a show anyways. I text with a lot of people in the community. They're always looking for books you're looking out for. And especially after the fire, the amount of love people have showed me, it just solidifies what I already knew and how great we have it in this community. So I hope that answers your question. It was a bit of a long road, but it basically has all brought me here to hang out with people like you guys.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very insightful, and it's funny and it's interesting how, we are driven by the same love of comics, but at the end of the day, for most of us, it actually has become about that community.
Yep.
I know whenever we go to a show, um, to me, it's more talking about the people, talking to some of the vendors that are there, talking to some of the comic cleaners and presses that are out there that I've formed friendships with. And I'm there 3-4 hours, and most of that time is spent talking to people. Um, so doing that, and of course, shows don't happen every week, but having people like you on the channel, that's something we can do, and that's something we love. So very, very insightful, and funny how it is about the community more than the books themselves. So
Yeah. Comics is what ties us all together. And then when you start talking to collectors, you realize they collect either the same stuff that you love, or other collectibles like toys, or whatever it may be. And we're nerds. This is what we've done for a long time. It's in our blood, whether it was a comic or movie that got us into it. I know you guys are big Star Wars fans too, and so yeah, it's incredible.
yes, it is.
It is, yeah. You hit on that too about being a dad, and I've thought about that as well. As just like all this content that we are creating, likely will live on. I don't think YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon. Someday I'll be gone, right? And so I think it would be cool to at least be able to, as a kid, go back and see like, oh yeah, what was dad like during that time? Like, you have these records and like these glimpses into our lives of just the things that we were interested in, the things that we were talking about, that I think is really cool.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had that with my dad. My dad passed away in
Yep.
2021,
I'm
and
sorry. Yeah.
thank you. And I wish that there was like that technology. We have the ability to do this, so like, why
Yep.
not? And that sentiment is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in it as parents right now, and
Yeah.
I can't believe my Something is Killing the Children book's out, because my daughter's like, "What's that?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
not appropriate. Yeah, I have my hardbound book in my bed because I read before bed, and I'm like, oh, and even Invincible, like she'll open it up, and you guys know some of the pages, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yep.
Yep,
I get it.
yep.
So, but at least like they'll be able to come back and like hear our voices whenever they want to.
100%. I have to listen to my dad's voicemails if I want to hear his voice, or watch a
Yeah.
video. Like,
Yep.
they can watch us for as long as they want doing this,
Yep. Exactly.
Hi, kids,
So,
when you watch this again.
hey, hope you all
Hey,
are well.
Yeah.
future,
Listen to your
future,
mother.
Narrating for
kids
the
of-
future self as we're
yeah.
passed away.
That turned very Iron Man. Love you 3000
Oh my
very, very
God,
quickly.
please. God, I'm trying to break the internet here. It's going to go viral.
But no, it's a good point, and obviously my dad's not a YouTuber, but sometimes I go out with him when I go visit. We just I like to go out and walk around downtown and see where he grew up and that kind of thing. And even though he tells me the same story 5 different times, I still love to hear it. And now what I've done is I put my phone down on the table and just hit record and just hear him talk. And
Yep.
even though I can't call, every single day, every single hour on the hour, it's just good that I can turn on the phone and listen to him. So doesn't love comics, doesn't like YouTube. He won't see me on here because his technology challenged. Guy's 87. So,
Yeah.
but it's definitely good to use that technology to our advantage, and then for all that to come together with the community and our love for
1
comic
million
books.
percent. How good is my microphone? Can you guys hear the fireworks going off?
No.
Okay, good.
So your mic is very good.
It's a finale. The Cocoa College had them for some reason, and they started going off. They just hit the finale, and I'm like, I wonder if these guys can hear these fireworks.
Nope.
No,
I can't at all. Can you, Jay?
no, I can't.
Well, as Minnesotans, you guys, is it Minnesotans? Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
You guys understand that like today we hit like 68 degrees, so I'm sure everyone's just pumped to have been outside.
Yeah.
The
that
weather.
was Monday.
That was
Monday here. Yeah. Today is again in the 30s and rainy and cold. And
we could have snow Monday, they said. So this is just great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're getting what we're having right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's headed that way. So
awesome.
Enjoy.
Awesome.
I'm over it. I am so over it,
dude. So my kids want to be outside, and
yep,
it's just rough. But also, do you guys have ticks out there?
If you get into the woods, yeah, you definitely have to watch for them. But
we're in the middle of nowhere, and my wife already had one on her. My daughter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a sure sign. Springs here too. A horrible sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We don't
like
get them much
right
in the city.
I'm like right on the edge of like where it would get rural, so I don't have to worry about that quite as much. So
that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You truly are in the edge of civilization.
It is the edge. It's the farthest my wife will allow me to go. So
yeah.
Then you're gonna be M.O.N Comics Junior.
Yeah. I would love to be.
I'm out here, but Bruce from Up North Comics, he lives like up near Canada. That guy should have taken my channel name. He was way up there, like population of like 100 people in his town. It's bad.
Yeah, it's one of those towns where I have more Facebook friends than population in that town.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a thunderstorm right now. I don't know if you just heard that, Jay. I just got some lightning and thunder over by me. But
I was watching the baseball game earlier today, and they said that it was thundering, and they're like 10 minutes from me. So it's probably you're getting what I had about half an hour ago.
Okay.
So
I thought your kid was infiltrating your room. I was like, I know that look. Concerned. This is Daddy's time.
I'm live right now.
Let me record for you. Jesus.
This is for the future.
After I just had like this sweet moment talking about like the future. Get out of
here. That's funny.
So, Brandon, what are you collecting these days?
It's funny. As we were talking backstage, it's like, where do you go when you lose your collection? Like you spend so much time curating it and loving what you have. And, obviously a big part of right now is making sure we have enough funds for the house. So even though like, yes, comics came through some on the insurance, we got to build the house first. That's number one priority. So anything I want to buy, I have to work like extra overtime to facilitate that, which is kind of what I had to do before. But I do strongly suggest for anyone that watches this that has a collection that's getting valuable, homeowners insurance doesn't cover comics. You can put a rider in, like a side rider for it to cover X amount. But I got lucky because my private adjuster I hired argued the fact that like when I got my homeowner's insurance, I was like, I got a pretty prolific comic book, collection. Like, is it covered over homeowners? Oh yeah, you're fine. Okay. Didn't think anything past that. And then when the fire happened, I found out, no, it wasn't. And then that employee wasn't working there anymore. So my adjuster was able to make it, like, hey, he was misinformed. And so knowing that, there is collectible insurance that I highly recommend. I've talked to some people that have like a $50,000 policy for $250 a year. I'm sure that it works on scales, but I would highly recommend that to anyone out there. It can happen to anyone, and you want to have that stuff protected. Homeowners will not cover your collection. I had them talking, my adjuster talked into some of it, like because of this whole employee thing, but not all of it. But so building the house first, what am I buying now? I've gone to my first, the week after it happened was I needed some reading material to like get my mental health kit. So I went to Funky Town Comics and Vinyl in Syracuse, which is what I call my local LCS. It's like 45 minutes away, but the guys are great. And I started buying like I bought Invincible Compendium 1. I bought both the Something is Killing the Children books that I could buy, like any kind of graphic novel, so I could just read before bed at night. And then like through there, like the Halloween show is coming up, so I picked up a horror book. I've been very selective on what I've got for like bigger books. The community has really helped me with their generosity in many ways. Would you like me to show some of what I do have in my collection, Bex?
Yeah, let's see it, man. Yeah.
Okay. So I brought a few things that were, either I bought or gifted. I'll tell you. So Travis from Comics Limited, great community artist. He had sent me a sketch cover of Man-Thing, and he was holding a woman in a red dress, the classic trope, and he recreated it for me. And it's just absolutely, I forgot the medium, like I think it's acrylic and pen, but he recreated it for me, and he liked the way this one came out better. I think he nailed it a little more, but he's just that's an incredible piece of art. I mean, it's like literally a piece of art, like,
yeah.
And the back that's even awesome. Has, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
Yeah. So this was like one of the first things, Travis made sure I had that art back. And then I bought some books from Spro, of course, who me and Jay shop through quite frequently. I don't know if Bax, if you bought from him yet, but
I have not, but I know Jay is a big,
great resource
shopper. So yeah.
Yes. I bought some books through him, and I opened the package, and this was a book that I had bought. Him and Spro and his father, Mr. Longbox, father-in-law, did a live. They were watching like a live show on Instagram, and I was tuned in, and so like I was watching what they're doing and what I was doing, and I bought this book, and I sniped it from myself because some guy it was a crazy way I won it, and they were like laughing, and I lost this book in the fire. So Josh and his father-in-law and Rohan from Back in the Game Comics re-gifted me Silver Surfer issue 3.
Ooh, first Mephisto.
First Mephisto, first cover, Shalaval. Just a great Buscema cover that I was super grateful. I don't expect anything. The generosity is just beyond comprehension, but that was, right on the stack of comics. And I was like, thanks guys. Like that's a huge one, considering all the stuff I lost.
Shout out to Spro, Spro's Comics on IG. Follow him if you aren't already.
Yup, he does a lot of sales. You know who else is a good seller? His buddy Jed from Katsu Comics. I bought some wonderful books from him. The guy packages like a pro, ships quick.
Yeah, follow them. Get some books from them. Great people. They work with you. I bought books from you. One of the books that you have, I actually was eyeing. And then he said, "No, I gotta make Brandon buy this one." I'm like, "Okay, he'll get it. He'll get it."
I'll get that tonight. Bruce from Up North Comic. It's funny, these bonds. We're talking about bonds, and like when he started collecting comics, we both loved this cover. He had a copy. I had a copy. I sold my copy to him, I think, and then I found another copy at Antique Show for $20. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, are you sure this is the right price? I asked the dealer. "Yep, that's what I want." And so Bruce, because I lost that in the fire, sent me ASM 122. We're bonded over this cover. We love it. Beautiful Ramita, Death of the Green Goblin. So Bruce sent that like right away. And that was, that find of this, when I found my other copy of this for $20 in the wild, that was like one of my best deals. I was like, that's freaking awesome. And it was a good grade. So Bruce hooked that up. And have you guys shopped through Cheddar Comics on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on,
Max, we're going to influence you tonight, buddy.
I'm frugal.
He's frugal until I bait him with what nachos like today.
Today, Jay got me, and the wallet was opened. So
bad influences. I love it.
It was bad. It was bad.
Bad influences.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheddar got this collection of pre-code horror from this lady. Found his Facebook reviews, saw that he was, respectable, well loved, and he had this one owner collection of horror comics. And I saw him preview this one, and I reached out. I was like, "How much are you going to be asking for it?" And he told me. I'm like, "All right, I'll try to be first." And lo and behold, I was first. It's an artist that I wanted to own that I never did before the fire, and I was like, "This will be a good book to like get me back into it." But it is Spook, Suspense, and Mysteries, issue 24. It's just a beautiful. L.B. Cole is one of my Mount Rushmore of the Golden Age. What he did with colors and the saturation of them was just so cool.
Yep.
That's L.B. Cole, he's great and he gets talked about a lot, but I don't think he gets talked about enough. For sure. He was really one of the pioneers when it came to, covers and his horror books and pre-code. If everyone was putting out black covers, he would come up with something like this, or a white cover, and then everybody would switch to colors like this or a white cover, and he would turn back to black.
1,000,000%.
He was just a master of doing, this type of art, and he was really good at it, and he was way ahead of the curve from everybody else. So,
and his books weren't cheap, so it's acquiring. I just wanted one to have an example. I've always loved this Mummy cover, classic Universal monster. The guy's face is just incredible.
That looks great. That looks like it just came out of the printer, man. The reds and the yellow on that thing just
presents extremely well
for a low grade. Like the cover is detached at one staple, I think, or no, centerfold's detached. Don't even care. Like I've opened up and carefully read it, and it's beautiful. And really pumped to have gotten that and just get a Cole in the collection.
Nice. And that one, if it was on a Cheddar show, I'm sure it would have gotten a lot of competition.
Oh, dude. I was so quick. I had it typed out so that I could just say it's done.
That's the only way you can do it, man. That's, Rich from this Big Nasty Comics, he always beats me with some of the foreigns he puts out there. He has, I swear, the fastest speed internet in the country, because he'll put out a book and I'm just hitting enter with claim already typed, and he already has claim like 5 seconds before me.
Claim type.
And I'm like, how does he do it? Rich, stop buying the foreign books that I want. Please stop.
You heard it here, Rich. Stop. These next ones, before I get to the most recent buys, because I bought them all. My buddy Will from Instagram, he's friends with Mike from Lunch Money too. He sent Mike one of these, but he sent this to me. He had Boss Kong on Instagram. It's like a foil cover, but it's like a man thing foiled out, painted. It's a beautiful. But what's cool about this is it's one book, and on the other side is Predator, because I'm a big Predator fan. So
nice.
Just look at the detail in the eyes and the dot work. Like this guy is an incredible artist that I was just really another thing that just the art stuff I've been getting. Like I have a whole compilation box of just like art that friends have sent me that I can't wait to get framed. It's like being very well taken after so that I can just frame it and get it up. So thanks to Will on that one. Just so unique. I never seen anything like it. So check out Boss Kong on Instagram for sure.
Yeah, that's
for sale regularly. He has commissions he'll do for you.
Is that like a foil or what is that?
It is.
Just looks shiny.
Foiling technique, but also paint. It's wild. I had never seen anything like it.
Is that like some sort of acrylic paint? Because the book itself is not foil, right? The paint is what looks foil.
I didn't ask him his technique, but it's freaking cool. Freaking awesome. All right, so these two are from you guys, the comic community, and one isn't, but it's all the same artist. So what happened was Matt Flint, who is kind of local to me, does sketch covers. I actually sent Jay a Something That's Killing the Children sketch cover. I think Bax, I sent you First Muse. I think those came at the same time.
Yep.
Yep.
So Matt Flint's an incredible artist, and he had this on his page, and I thought it was a commission for someone. He's like, no, it's available. I was like, I want it. And so I got it. And it was Predator versus Black Panther issue 1. And I mean, if you walked into a comic store, like that could just be
that
on
looks
like,
yeah, that looks like it's printed on that thing.
Sketch covers are so awesome to me. True one of ones. And man, he crushed it. And I guess he caused a flurry, because what I didn't know is when I did a live stream with the Multiverse Report a few weeks ago from Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, we were supposed to do that before Christmas, and the comic book community had come together and got me some stuff again to help build the collection. And they were freaking out because they thought he had sold me this one, which was a surprise. So it's actually now the companion piece to this one. So this one I bought, and this one was kind enough to be gifted from the comic book community. And as if that wasn't enough, they also sent me. So Savage Tales #1 is the first appearance of Man-Thing. It's from 1974. It's got Conan decapitating a person on the cover, and it doesn't have Man-Thing. It just says something about Man-Thing on the side. So he found a Savage Tales sketch cover and did the cover from Man-Thing Volume 1 first issue, which is done by one of my favorite artists, Frank Bruner. And he crushed this. I mean, he said it was a lot of fun to draw. And so to see Man-Thing finally on the title of the book that he came out on is wild and fun.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool.
Dude, I'm amazed by artists, dude. Especially the artists we get to know, like should be in a museum.
Yeah, they should be. They should be pumping out covers like, you know, some of the artists nowadays, Frizen and J. Scott Campbell and all those guys. Because there's some very talented people in the community that don't get enough love.
1,000,000%, dude. 1,000,000%. And then the last 3 books I bought. This one was from Katsu Comics. I wanted this before the fire went down. I never got it. The prices hadn't dropped where I wanted it, and I just wanted like a lower grade reader's copy. But I think I showed it last week. Daredevil 168.
First
Electra. It's just one of the best Bronze Age covers to me. The composition and everything, and
that's sweet. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, this was sub $100. So I was finally like, sweet. Like that's my wheelhouse.
That's a good price for the condition that book is in.
I think it's a Mylar Magic, you know. So very grateful for that. This was the horror book I picked up at so my horror show was before Halloween. I was getting a tattoo during it, and I had my eye on this book. Kind of love the Universal monsters, so if I get like any like that L.B. Cole mummy cover, and this is like one of the best werewolf covers in my opinion. It's beyond issue 1.
Oh, that's sweet.
This was like my first big purchase after the fire. I was in a claim sale, and the guy worked with me on a good price, and there's not a ton of these on the census, maybe 60 something. So it's just a great werewolf cover. Doesn't really tell the cover artist. I've done research. It's one of those golden age books that like we really have to dig to find it, because sometimes they just didn't credit the artist. Right. It has superior artists, but 3.0 again, like I said, the colors were great on it, and I was like, whatever. It's in a slab.
Do you remember who you got that from?
1150 Crime City Comics.
Crime City
on Instagram, very good. Their packaging was really cool too. They had like custom packaging, like a bubble wrapped bag with their logo on it inside the box. Like it was classic. Sellers, there's some good sellers packaging out there, and I appreciate it.
Yep. Another IG page for me to follow.
Yep. But my favorite pickup since everything, and like Jay said, I think, did you have a chance at this book, Jay?
I did, but I'm going to let you show it, and then I'll explain why I passed on it.
My wife's literally crawling on the floor to get up. Like, you could just walk behind me. You don't have to crawl.
She can be on the show. That's fine.
there's thousands of people watching us right now, so I could understand.
Yeah, it's millions and millions.
We're a huge show.
Yeah, this is like hundreds and thousands of people watching us. And I'm in my head wrap. She's doing Easter cards. Anyway, so she gets to hear the story now too. Wanted this book. I had the reprint of this book. Spro hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, I think you should have this." And because I was like trying to get back myself in this Killing the Children run I lost, because like a lot of them in the later aren't that expensive, and he had just come into a collection, and he had this, and he told me the price, and I was like, "Yeah, it's just not feasible right now. I have like other obligations." And a time went by, and I was like, wonder if he'd negotiate. And I hit him back up and I'm like, do you still have that? Millions, Anna. And he's like, I got it. And I'm like, what's your grade estimate? And he said 9.2, I think, with a press and a clean. And he was very fair. He just said he wanted to get this into my collection. And we looked at recent sales, did our research, and finally came to an agreement. And he sent it to me. I was thrilled to have this in my collection. And then, because it kind of marks like my love of modern, like the beginning of my love of modern comics, because I was like all vintage collector until like you guys got a hold of me and like people taught me like how great modern comics can be.
Dude, I love modern.
Yeah, great, especially, yeah. So I digress. I sent it to Matt from M.Press Comics. I said, can you please work on this for me? If anyone's going to, give it its best shot, it's you. Or Jeff from Comics Bob, but Jeff's pretty busy. So I sent it to Matt. He sent it out for me. And he estimated 9.2, 9.4 on a good day. So I was pretty shocked when it came back at 9.6, white pages. Something's Killing the Children, issue 1.
First print.
First appearance of Erica Slaughter. I have just fallen in love with the characters, the story, the writing, the art, and being a monster fan. Like I grew up, you guys talked about monsters. I grew up loving monsters. My dad had me watching the Ray Harryhausen, Jason the Argonauts, and Clash of the Titans. And so Greek monsters into, any kind of lore I was into. It's kind of why I adore Hellboy too. But now monsters can be taken in different ways and reimagined by writers and artists that still draw me in as an older person collecting comics. So I had the first issue reprint of this that I bought back after the fire. And I was like, well, I'll get one slab to keep it in nice condition and I'll keep the other one for a reader. So really grateful. So Jay, you had a chance at this?
I had a chance of that. I had a couple of irons in the fire.
What's that, buddy?
I had a couple of irons in the fire. That's why I passed. Because he showed it.
Yeah, Spro was on our show, and he mention that, like he was saving it for Brandon.
Yes. What had happened is that he showed it, he put it up, he went over the condition and price, and I'm like, man, that's a good deal. But again, being first print and whatnot, it's not just a little chunk of change.
Yeah.
So it was the end of the live sale, and I said, do you have an FF52? And he said, I actually do, but I don't have it priced. I'm like, okay, well, if you do, I'm going to pass it on. And then we started talking, and he said, I want Brandon to have that book. And I'm like, give it to Brandon. You and I can work a deal on that FF52, which are comparable. So we did. And then 3 weeks later, the opportunity came for me to acquire Something's Killing the Children 1, but it's the Frizzen New York Comic Con exclusive. So I went with that, which, is still not chump change, but it's not nearly as much as that book in the 9.2 would have been. And now it's at CGC waiting for Jenny's signature. So
I've been so busy. I happened to look like I was like, oh, look who's coming up for signature series. And I saw she was in. I was too late. And I was like, because you sent me all those nice books that she did. Yeah, I'll get there. I'll find her at a con or something.
Yeah,
she's around. Yeah.
she's around. She's young. She's not a Steranko who doesn't do signings very often anymore. Or
Right.
Todd McFarlane who does one every 5 years and then they cut the line because so many people send books.
No, 1,000,000%, dude. I'll get her. I'll get her at some point.
Yep.
Because her cover, I have a lot. I did make it a point when I rebought my Something's Killing the Children collection to get, if I saw her cover for an issue, like I would just buy it. I wanted her covers. It's a pretty eclectic mix, like,
Oh,
because again, Jay would send me,
100%.
like, tag me in some new, the Bjorn, who was it? Bjorn Bendis?
Burbendens.
Bendens, yeah. I was like, damn it, Jay.
He has a knack
See,
of that, man.
no,
Like,
He's a
according
pusher
to
man.
you both, I'm just sharing the love, man.
it's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, pusher man. Yeah,
Just-
all of a sudden I've got like
Yeah.
3 variants on the way. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm a Bjorn
I know.
collector.
I
I'm
spent like
showing
over
you guys-
$100 today because of him.
I'm showing you guys the menu. You're deciding to eat. But it's yeah. That series in itself is great, and then so many of the
It is.
variants are great
Yeah.
that I just have to go with, if there's a recent cover, that's what I'm getting, and if not, I let my LCS decide and pull it for me. They're great. They know what I like. So they'll just pull it, because otherwise I would have, same 5 copies of the same book.
Right.
Just because there are so many great artists out there. And yeah, with Frizen, she does such great art and in such different ways, because if you look at some Hello Darkness, some of those are really freaking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mhm.
you look at something like, what Bax has behind with Buffy, which is not that creepy, and she just looks like pretty lady, like she captures the essence of Buffy. But the other one, she'll have snakes coming out of her eyes and that kind of thing, and it's just
Yeah, she can do it all,
insane.
right? Like creepy and beautiful. Look at that. Come on. It's amazing.
She is phenomenal. Like, and Jay turned me on to her. I really didn't. She wasn't on my radar until Jay introduced me to Something Is Killing the Children, and then like her variants that she was doing for
Ugh.
that series. So
She crushes everything she does, whether it's
yeah, seriously.
you see. And one of the, I missed Heroes Con, I think it was last year that the boys went down, a lot of the guys, and they had Jenny Frizen send a mess, like they did a video of like her.
I remember that. That
Showing
was
the
so
comic
freaking
thing.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's what this community does, man. If someone can't be there, they find a way to, make you feel like you are. And I don't buy into, I don't think movies influence comics as much as they used to these days. But I think you get into this situation when you have something that is Killing the Children with such a low print run. And, even if that show or movie that comes out ends up being amazing, even if a few people just, seek out, oh, well, I want the first printing of the first issue. No, like it's not a high print run. So I think it can affect like indie comics that are successful, like Invincible.
Mhm.
I mean, people are going nuts for Invincible because that animated show is such a hit, and connects with newer audiences, like younger people. So that's the only time I think it could have influence any movie. Like Marvel and the big movies, like Fantastic Four comes out, go buy a Fantastic Four one, like good luck.
Yeah.
Tell
me about it.
Yeah, no, I love Frizen. I think she just does beautiful work, and like you said, there's so many artists that like I keep discovering, modern artists. Pay respect to the legends, but appreciate what's coming out, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Especially when they're so down to earth and humble. And I
Yep.
say that not because I know her, because I obviously don't. I know her work, I know of her, but I was just on YouTube the other day, and of course, looking at comics and comic content. I came across the panel that she did in C2E2 just a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, with cover
And they
price.
were cover price,
Yep.
which is kind of like Go Collect and GPA. They track aggregate prices of last sales for books. So they were going through some of her covers and asking her why, she did what she did, and she's just so down to earth and so chill, just easy to talk to. When one of those people that you could have a beer with at the bar and you'd have a great time, and then at the end of the night you could go your separate ways, or you could become best friends.
Yeah,
So that was great.
the fact that she was willing to make that small video for me,
Exactly.
she could have been like, "I'm busy, I gotta go, guys, I got a tight schedule," and like, but I think too, comic creators, when they make it prolific like that, since there's so much competition, that they're more apt to stay grounded,
Makes sense. Yeah.
they're fighting for as much as, I mean, like, look at Matt Flint, he's been published and stuff. I think his artwork should be more noticed, but he loves it even when I come up and buy stuff from him. John Jang is great too. Peach, I feel like Peach, you either love her or you hate her. I find beauty in her art.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, it's, and again, it's what you want to buy. It's what you like. Just because 500 people don't like it, you love it.
Right.
It just so happens.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah. At the end of the day, it is what you like. I mean, truly, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Eye of the beholder.
So, yeah,
1,000,000%. Get what you want.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, it's a form of art, and art is supposed to, steer some sort of emotion, whether you like it or not. And I think both Frizen and Peach achieve that, because sometimes you'll go like, "Oh, that's really weird." Well, that's bringing out an emotion, and that's what art's supposed to do. You may not like it, but as an art form, it did its purpose.
1,000,000%. This has become pop culture art too, right? From the golden age to now, it is amazing what we've been. It's what a time to be alive, guys. We've seen some great artists come through and been left with stuff. And I look at Jay's back wall and I see FF50 with that beautiful Silver Surfer composed, and Star Wars, and I look at Bax's, Buffy and X-Men #1 and Smarg. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, and collect what you like. You don't have to buy all modern. You don't have to buy all vintage. If you like a modern book, buy a modern book. And if you would like to sprinkle some vintage and back issues, do that.
Welcome to my world.
I'm not one to tell you how to spend your hard-earned money. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to talk to you about a common interest and the love we share for an artist or a book or something. But at the end of the day, you do you, man.
100%, dude. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Well, you showed us some big books. So, of course, for those again that don't know, Brandon suffered a tragedy back in the fall and lost his house to a fire and lost his comic book collection. Has slowly been putting it back together, like he just showed us. But how do you think your habits will change going forward? Do you see yourself still trying to make up most of the books that you got, or are you aiming for some bigger books now that you may have a bit of money coming back your way from insurance claims and whatnot? Or
so yeah, we got to see where the dust settles, because obviously it's not cheap to build a house, and we were very fortunate with the insurance and GoFundMe that people put out was wildly successful, and like, we met with a financial advisor to make sure we could, get the house, to build the house the way we want it. So I have to wait till the dust settles and get the new M.O.N comic studio going. And, but it is, I do think I would, if it's the options given to me, I'd rather get like maybe 1 or 2 bigger books that are, I consider, seminal works in the history of comics, to really kickstart the collection. Because the rest of what I had, like, I had some great books that I really missed and I was grateful for, don't get me wrong, but it was like, they're out there. I can go find them. Like, they're on claim sales. They were, they weren't, except for like the pre-code, like it would take some searching to find like the raw pre-codes I had. But yeah, I think I'm going to go the route of maybe, if I can, and if we build the house and get it exactly the way we want, and it doesn't leave me much left over, I'll figure it out from there. I'm still able to buy pretty inexpensive modern comics. I just got into, what is that book by Tynion? Exquisite Corpses.
Oh,
I was at the comic shop.
Series.
Yep. Someone said, "You'd love this," and they handed me the trade paperback. and I read it and was like, yup. And a couple weeks ago, I pre-ordered the next one coming out that drops on like the 21st of this month. So will be mailed to me. So yeah, with books like that coming out, like, and I love reading, like, I'm just enjoying it all. So yeah, to answer your question, might go for the bigger books if permits. If not, and I just get the house the way we want it, I have a M.O.N comic studio, so be it, because the studio is going to cost, like, as far as just like you guys know, like you have to buy wall displays for your books. There's storage. There's, luckily I don't have much. I'm staying condensed because I don't want to have to A, move it all, and B, I don't know how much room I'm working with. I've got a bunch of original art gifted to me from friends. Crom, who used to have his channel, sent me a Val Myrick original watercolor of Man-Thing. Like, that's just freaking mind-blowing that I own that. So like, that's carefully wrapped up and waiting. Like, there's certain pieces, like, I just don't know what that's going to look like yet. So like, I don't want to like get all these books and be like, okay, now I got to buy like fixtures and stuff. And like, so trying to be smart. It was a lot to be, with insurance and all that, like money coming in, I'm a regular guy. I've never had that in my bank account. I'm like, what do I do? And like, the first thing our advisor said, who works with financial advising, but as well as behavior, is like, don't just go buy stuff because you can, it's going to be expensive to rebuild and you're going to want to do it just the way you want. Wait till the dust settles. So that was huge, for me to hear. So like, most of my stuff was gifted to me by the kind members of the community. You think about how many bigger books I bought. It's not a ton. And just trying to do it right. But man, it feels good to be live streaming with people again and talking comics. And you don't have to be on YouTube. We can all talk anyways whenever we want comics. But it's been a ride. But we actually start building on the 15th of this month, if everything goes as planned. With an estimate to be in by December 30th. Could be sooner, could be later, I don't know, but at least we have like a time frame now.
Yeah, good. And do you have any like grand plans for what your studio would look like?
I'm hoping for, Adam, you've already done enough. You sent me that sketch cover of Swamp Thing, Man-Thing. It's going to be like a 12 by 12 room. Original art. I would like to have on the walls on my side with a display, like classic, my books behind me, a small table and an area for my ring light and camera. And the door is going to be unique. That's all I'll say, is the door to get to the room will be unique. I've made that
like a secret passage, kind of unique, or
something like that.
All right, yeah.
Listen, when we started planning the build, my wife, I was like, you can do anything you want to this house. You can paint it whatever color. I want two things. I need a nerd room. And I need a shower that is like huge, because I'm a big guy and I'm taking small. We're very grateful for this house, but it's a small shower. And so,
dude, it's terrible. Like, how tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay, I'm 6'2". And so I know exactly what you mean when you get
a
small shower.
Everyone wants to be tall, like, until they have to bend over in a shower.
This world is not made for tall people.
Yeah, until you run into doors and try to take a shower. Being a tall person is not what it's cracked up to be. And so those are the two things I said. So our shower is going to be a custom shower. We've already like designed it, and I will get my nerd room. My wife's going to get a huge photography studio because she's a photographer. And as you know, going through winters, a lot of your business dies during that time. But if she can have a studio where she can do family shoots inside, it will help us generate more income through her slow months. So, priorities, but I got my little space in there.
Yeah. So you're gonna be like Mike and put a secret door to your nerd room.
Something like that. He already threatened me about not doing it, so I can't do something.
I've always liked the good, the classic bookshelf, where you
Moby Dick and it opens. Yeah. No, this is the chance we have to make it the way we want. So, make sure my girls have a really comfortable room. They have their own bathroom, the kitchen and stuff. So yeah, we're ready to go.
All right. Good to hear.
Well, I'm glad that that's starting to take shape, because I know it was a couple of rough months of being in limbo and what's going to happen. And, but I think that there's something now that'll be palpable in the next couple of months, and that hopefully will help you out. You know that if you need anything, reach out to us. You know, if you're looking for comic book storage and displays, I know a guy who builds his own and actually has that. I don't. I just used 3M strips. They work great.
I'll be emailing Baxter.
But yeah, he built those, so I'll give him credit for that, and he loves doing that kind of thing. So
And yeah,
I'm
no,
sure
I'd
we
be
can.
open to anything.
I love woodworking, man. I love it. So
I was cheap before and had just like shelves I bought from Walmart, but I would like something more like that keeps them, because they had to be in an angle. So they never looked right, you know, and it didn't have that flush look like yours does. And I definitely have to talk to you, because what you have behind you is very, I like I moved to a corner too. Like first I had them flat behind me, and then I felt like when I moved into a corner and had them coming out like that, I felt like it added more depth to the videos. And it allowed you to show more books, right? Because like now you're showing two sides of the wall. And I'm going to reach out to you, Baxter. Sorry in advance.
Cool, man. Yeah, absolutely. Happy to talk about it. So I do wish I had, so there's like a closet, or there's like a window right there. It's like, I kind of wish, like, I don't think I would have had enough room for like one more book right there. Maybe I would have.
That's what I was fighting with in mine too.
Right. And then like there's the closet right there. So it's like,
it's funny. The contractor's like, you're not going to have any room to put a window where you want to do that room. I go, I don't want a window. You know, really? I go, no. The comics do not like light. And he was like, I just nerded out on him. He's like, okay, no window. I got you. So that's
no UV light.
Yes, exactly.
UV light is the enemy of comic books.
It is.
Yep.
Which is surprising that CGC wouldn't still do, you know, UV or any other grading companies. Well,
they'll wait. I'll send in for reholders to get it and charge us more money.
Yeah, eventually I think they will, you know, now that there's only going to be 2 companies with CBCS folding.
I'll call it right now.
What was that? What was that other? What was that janky company that that we looked at, Jay, with the terrible website security? Which one was
PJX?
that? PJX. Yeah, PJX. Yeah. So there's 3.
See how this thing went?
Yeah, so you mark my words. Next big scandal, they'll come. Matt, the guy from CGC, will come out and be like, "We're finally releasing UV protecting cases." It's totally divert.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Well, we are coming up to our hour here, Brandon. Any other thoughts, words of wisdom, anything before we end?
Check out Collectibles Insurance if that's something you're interested in. There's companies out there. I won't plug any because I'm not sponsored by any, but I've looked into a couple. It's been hard to make regular videos right now. I will keep the Big 5 live stream going monthly, probably with a lot of callbacks. And then I did just recently get invited to host on Sunday nights. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 Pacific. A group of guys, they get together and draw. Big B McFly, Travis from Comics Limited, James from the Nerdy Musings podcast, who you guys met, who has just a bonkers collection of original art. And so those guys have been drawing on Sunday nights, and it's been tough because James has been having to host, and it's hard for him to draw and pay attention to the chat, as you guys know. Anything you're doing when you're not paying attention to the chat, you know, you want to make sure those people you see that they're there. So they asked me to come host. So I'm going to start hosting with them on Sunday nights for like an hour and a half while they draw, and pay attention to the chat, just kind of keep it flowing. So it won't start this weekend because of the holiday, but next weekend we'll be at it. So go sub all those channels.
All right.
You heard him. We'll put him in the description when we're done, or in one of the comments. We'll get the names from Brandon so that we can pin him in, and you can go support our fellow collectors and artists. Thank you, Chad. It's been awesome having you. I know you were having great conversation.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me, guys. I truly appreciate you bringing me on your channel. This is 2 weeks in a row now. So
I know.
Yeah. It's been great seeing you.
It's so much fun to hang and talk with you guys and nerd out over Jenny Frizen and all the other fun stuff.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me on.
Can't wait to do it
Thanks for being
again.
here.
Hell yeah. 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 We'll do it again.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. And until next time, keep flipping those pages.